Disco. Okay, here we are, folks. Hello. Let's. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Let's see. Did it come up? Where's my? There it is. Okay. So let me just share this, and we will share. We will share now publicly. And then let's get our image. It's this one. So hopefully, hello, somebody just joined us. Good morning to you. Good morning. Welcome to our little show, little lesson, right? You want me to scooch over and you can come in here? Zora's with me today, and we're going to be doing some watercolor. We have this beautiful sunset piece. You know who took that picture? Debbie Struna. You know Andy's girlfriend? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she took that picture.
Oh.
It's pretty cool, huh? So we are gonna be doing watercolors, and they're always fun. This particular picture is super colorful, and then down towards the bottom, you basically just have silhouette. So I think that's gonna not be super difficult to deal with the silhouette. When I'm looking over here like this, I'm looking at my computer screen to see what the image looks like. Good morning, Mona. Hi. Yay. Glad you could join us. What's up, buddy?
Can you put your phone down a little bit?
No, that's where it has to go. But you can just be half a face if you want to, or you could sit up a little bit. There you go. The other thing you can do is if you scooch back. Hey, there. So anyway, good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining us. This would be a good time to bring up the image that we're looking at on your screen, so you have that in one window.
And get watercolors.
Oh yeah, get your watercolor kit together. We have very simple kits like this.
And paper.
We have the watercolor paper. We have a cup of water. I have a paper towel. A few different brushes, and we're all good to go. How do you feel about this one, Z?
Hard.
Hard? I think Mona says hello to you.
Hi.
I think this one's not going to be too tough. I think it's going to be really fun to do all those wispy kind of shapes. Seems like we have a good crew. Let's flip things around and see what we can make of this.
Do we have to do the palm tree in front?
Do you have to do the palm tree?
Like,
You can decide. I'm going to do it. Yeah, you can leave out anything that you don't like. Anytime that you're making a piece, you have something that they call artistic license. Artistic license. That means that you can do it however you want to do it. You don't have to follow any rules at all. Now, again, let me dust off my screen. I'm just going to make that bottom part all silhouette, and that's going to come at the very end. So all we have to do is play with our sky. I'm going to start all the ways at the bottom. I'm using a pretty big brush. And so at the bottom you see kind of yellows and orangey pinks in maybe the bottom couple inches of our page. And I'm just going to start with the yellow just to make things easy. So I get my brush wet, I tickle the paint. You can even put it over here on the side. It's just you gotta make sure it's a clean area.
Daddy?
Yeah.
I don't have that much yellow.
Oh, take this one. And I'll take this one. I probably used this one before anyway. Okay, so this one needs a little more maintenance. I'm just getting a little water on my paper towel, and I just wanna clean out this section here. This my palette. Those of you that have watched me do this type of thing, you know that I like to use the palette and I like to mix colors. In this one, I think a lot of the mixing is going to happen right on the page, yeah. So you want a wet brush, You want it to be wet enough where you have decent, you know, when you go on the page, you just don't want to have big puddles of water. So you don't need it to be that wet, but you do want transparency. So sometimes it can be very wet, which will make it very transparent, but then you just have to spread the puddle around. You don't want to end up with a big puddle there. All right, so I'm just going to start in with some yellow down here, and I'm just going to lay it in. It can be transparent, nice and transparent at this point. And then eventually what we're going to do is we are going to get a little more saturated with our...
I thought that's where the silhouettes were.
That is, they're going to cover this part. The silhouettes will cover this part.
Then why are we wasting the paint?
Because we're not exactly sure where the very bottom of our shadow is going to be, are we? Like, yeah, there's palm trees that go well into the yellow, isn't there? If you look at the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to, I mean, it's okay to just go all the ways to the bottom, but know that we don't have to do any details down there yet. I could probably be a little more transparent than that. I'm just going to bring some water in and spread it around a little bit.
Is this transparent enough?
Yeah, that looks good, Z. And I'm just going to bring it up like this. It does stay very kind of horizontal. Now we're going to start to be a little bit pickier. So I can see up here, there's like this section. And then there's a break, and then there's another little section. And then that's where our yellow stops. So what do you think we're going to do next, Z?
The pink.
Yep, we're going to do our pink next. And we're going to have some oranges too. So what I want to do is I'll start with some orange. And then I'm just going to make a little section over here. That's actually like kind of almost the color that we want it to be. At the bottom at least. It becomes more pink as we work our way up. I'm going to add just a tad of red.
Red.
Yeah, because remember, red plus the white of the paper makes what color?
Pink.
That's right. Okay, so we're gonna...
Is that a good color?
That looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna come in here and I'm just gonna gently lay this in. We wanna leave some space. It should be kind of dry down here. But you can see where...
Too much water, puddles.
Okay, so just wipe your brush off with your paper towel over there. There you go, and just kind of spread around what you have on there. Now I'm copying what I see. And again, it doesn't have to be super dark, but we just kind of want to get those basic shapes. Doesn't have to be exact, but we are going for authenticity, right? And so that means if we can be more specific, then we are being more authentic to what was going on in the sky that day. Because it's real. And what can be more authentic than real? Now I think, okay, I'm going to come a little bit on this side. In the middle is where you have these kind of orangier vibe. And then as you move out to the edges on the right, and as you move up, it becomes more pink. So I can add a little more of that into here. And then it starts coming up into here. And it is going to have some of that yellow in it as well. And so that yellow is automatically going to turn that pink a little bit orangey. But it does the same thing over on this side. You can see I'm using my brush like the knife edge of my flat brush here. And that's enabling me to make these nice horizontal kind of marks.
You're over right there.
What do you mean?
So far.
Hey, I think you're doing great. What are you worried about? I'm not telling you to hurry. We've got an hour. We're 10 minutes in, buddy.
Already?
Yep. Can you believe it? Time really flies when we do this stuff.
That's bad.
You don't like it when time flies?
Well, when I'm doing something like, because then I have no time.
Well, you've just used the time in a really fun way, that's all. Sometimes when I'm painting, it'll seem like just minutes have passed. And instead, it's been like an hour, 2 hours sometimes. I've been late to doctor's appointments for that reason. It was embarrassing.
Do you still get to go to the doctor?
I went to the doctor and I was very, very apologetic, and they were super nice about it.
You were 2 hours late?
Yep, I was 2 hours late. I'm gonna add a little more yellow. No, I wasn't 2 hours late. I was like, 20 minutes late. But I felt terrible.
My doctor didn't let me go to my appointment when that happened.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I guess I wasn't there for that. All right. So, yeah, what I was saying was that when you get into a state like that where time just goes by so fast, that's like a flow state. Yep, exactly. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle said the same thing. Hi, how are you? She said you're in a state of flow when time compresses like that. That's flow state, exactly. Yeah, I have that all the time. Great book, if I can think of the name. It is called Stealing Fire. And it talks all about the different ways of achieving flow state and the science behind it. And in fact, I do a workshop that's completely based on flow state and achieving flow state. And yeah, it's good stuff.
Next time, Daddy, could we do like a desert or like a volcano? Because this kind of looks like a desert.
What I'm hoping is that people are going to send me in some more images that they've taken themselves. I don't want to do images that I have to worry about any copyright. I want to have permission, and I want to just like that's what I've been doing. I've had a nice little collection of images that people have sent me. They sent them to me on one post, and I've been going back and back and back to that post way back in March and just farming it for images, but I'm starting to run low. So
send in images.
Yeah, send in images to me, please. Okay, so I'm a little bit lost where I am here. There's like pink in here.
So much pink.
Yeah, there's a lot of pink.
That's my favorite part.
And you can see like I can go back in and kind of blend the edge so it blends into my yellow, as long as there's not a lot of paint on my brush. You can just wipe your brush off. Generally, I don't add too much water. I just wipe my brush off a little bit. Usually there's a good amount of water on my brush still, or it's moist enough.
I like it when like you put a big splotch of paint in it, like
Oh, the way it bleeds out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about watercolors, is that if you work in wet areas, then it will definitely bleed. And then, conversely, if you keep your wet areas separate, then they will not bleed into each other. So sometimes the right thing to do is to wait till an area dries before you add to it, if depending on whether you want it to bleed or not. So things are getting a little free form up here. I sort of lost where I was, and I think I don't have enough room to get all the clouds in, so I'm just sort of doing it in a general way, and then I want to have that blue-purple area at the top there still. So I'm maybe condensing a little bit here.
What's condensing?
Well, I'm just not
Following the picture.
yeah. I'm sort of adding the top pink clouds. I think are going in a little bit. No, not willy-nilly. I'm doing it the same, but then there's not going to be enough space to do all the rest of the clouds down here. So yeah, I'm just sort of, everything is getting squished.
Look, we squished the picture. Who cares?
It's just for fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all practice. That's the right attitude, dude. Yeah, this is going to be nice. Once we start putting the blues in, you're really going to start to be able to see, how it looks in contrast to the pinks and yellows and oranges. Yes?
Look, I wrote my initials in the clouds.
Ah, that's cool. You've got a nice one happening. Can I show people? So here's what Zora's working on so far.
That's my initials.
Yeah, the ZC. Very good. I think that's looking great, buddy.
I like this one the best because it's like way easier. I don't want to be so hard.
I told you it wouldn't be too bad. You never want to believe me. Okay. There's a lot of kind of, try to get the shapes that you see as much as you can. Because that's real, Yeah, this is a little bit different, but I think it's still going to look good.
It's like the cactus.
The cactus?
Remember?
No.
Remember when the cactus we did?
We didn't do a cactus.
Yeah, we did. The flowers.
The flowers, yeah.
With the cactuses. I think there was cactus.
Are you talking about that one sunset or sunrise? No, it was a sunset scene out in the country. Like a long time ago we did that, right?
It wasn't that long ago.
Well, I mean, at the beginning of our adventure into this. It's only since March, but...
Dang, I'm bleeding.
Yeah. And we'll get more of that stuff happening. I want to start coming in with my blues. Now, what I want you to take note of in the image is that our blues are very light down at the bottom, and then they get increasingly more saturated with blue as we move up. And then up in here, it even starts to become a little more purple, especially at the very edges of our pink. So I'm just going to start with blue now.
I have a pile, Daddy.
Well, use it in other areas. You can, you don't always have to grab from here. If you have an extra paint here, you can grab from here and then move it into the area that you need it to be.
Do you think I'm good
Okay.
with the pink?
Yeah, we're moving on to blue. So again, I'm going to tickle the colors. Okay, no, it didn't. It just, you just got to hit a button. It's all good. Okay, here we are. And I think I'm going to kind of start a little bit around the middle, just because we will when we get to the top, but let's see, that should be maybe transparent enough. I'm just going to come in here, and just remember we want it to be even more transparent as we work our way down. And we can always come back in. In the very middle, like in here, it's almost white.
Oh, mine's not going to be white.
No, down here.
It's not even there.
I know. It's because I'm leaving it white.
No, in the picture.
Yeah, right here. You see the white?
Oh, I thought you were talking about like where the palm trees are.
No. No, where the palm trees are, it's all yellow. But like that middle palm tree crosses into a very white area, pale area. Okay, so that's a little dark, so we'll just move up here. And we will go over this with another layer. That's the really cool oh yeah, for sure. Once you figure out where things go, then you can
like
start
the
to...
pink and the yellow?
Some of the pink will be more intensely red or orangey red. And so for this, you could also, if you want to grab a smaller brush and you want to have a little more detail, that's fine. But they're clouds, so I really don't mind if there is any overlap. Yeah. All right. This is pretty pale, so I'm going to bring this in down here. Let it just fade into the white. Let's spread this around. Get a little more water.
To make it white.
All right.
Mine isn't turning white that much, Daddy.
Well, do the best you can, and then paint in another area that needs more blue. All right, this looks pretty good to me.
Oh.
As a start. And then I'm just going to continue up. I know I need a little more blue. It can be a little more saturated.
Daddy?
Yeah.
Do I have to go over it? Because I think my pink is like already...
No, you do it how you want, bud. I'm not here to tell anybody that they have to do anything. This is the one area where I'm not going to get mad if you decide to do your own thing. Now, some of these areas are going to turn a little more purple eventually. But we can just do that right on top of the blue because they blend together real nice. And the purple is going to be even darker than our blue.
Hey, you know what I realized?
What's that?
It's all primary colors, so when they mix, it like becomes like it's all the colors in the rainbow when they mix.
Yeah, you're pretty much right.
Hey, what's today?
Today is Monday,
Oh, yeah.
June 15th, if you can believe it.
I can believe it.
I can't. Time is just going so fast. And not just when I'm making art, just in general. I hope everybody's doing okay out there. Staying positive. Ah, yeah, this is looking pretty good now. I'm happy with this now that I can see it coming together. It's a little bit weird when you're just doing those first shapes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of hobs.
Yeah.
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah, bud.
What's your favorite word?
My favorite word? Let's see. I need to make it a little darker up there, and this is where I am going to start to add some purple in a second. My favorite word. You really put me on the spot there.
No, I didn't.
What's your favorite word?
Sluice.
Sluice?
Yeah.
That is a good one. That is a really...
And plop.
Plop, yeah. That's descriptive, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Good ones. Those are really good, Z.
Are there funny ones?
Yeah, well, nobody would ever accuse you of not having a good sense of humor, that's for sure. Let's spread that around a little bit here. All right, now I'm going to start to come in with the purple. Tickle, tickle. Oh yeah, that's gonna be sweet. And I like it's a little bit wet, but it's working. I just want to be careful that I don't work the paper too much. You can see it's already starting to think about maybe dissolving a little bit.
Or curling.
Yeah, it's definitely... Lots of people tape their edges down. Some people like to actually wet their whole paper first and tape it down and then let it dry and then they work on it. And that's the way that they like to do it.
After I'm done, I use encyclopedias.
Oh yeah, you use encyclopedias to mash them?
Yeah, people always ask why I have them in my art bin, but that's why.
Oh, well, that's pretty smart, I think.
Wait, so then we put purple on top and we're done with the blue?
Yeah.
Oh, you're already there.
Yeah. What do you think? You like?
Uh-huh. It's like a galaxy.
It's pretty fun.
How do I do a meteor?
A meteor? I would tell you to find a picture. Find a picture of what.
Oh, look at my bleeding.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's fun when you work into a wet area.
Uh-huh. It's gotta be all blendy. Like mine turned to purple, so I need like this.
See, I think that some of my pinks need to be brightened up a little bit.
I think my blue needs to, too much purple on top. So I think I need more.
Yeah, you know, I would say, like, usually with this stuff, less is more, you know? It's pretty fun, huh?
It's like a bunch of blobs.
Yeah. Well, you could pretty much make anything out of blobs. As we will work our way down, it's less and less purple, just little hints of it here and there. Yeah. Liking it. So, you've got some puddles happening in yours that you need to be real careful of.
Well, that's what I'm drawing.
Okay, well, I'm going to continue, and by that I mean I'm going to come in and start to brighten up some of my colors. This is pretty nice through here. I feel like I could probably do a little bit more. I'm going to go with a slightly smaller brush. I just want to add a little bit of orange. There we go. And let's see. I mean, that's pretty nice. It's a little bit dark. Oof. A little bit dark. That needs to be up a little higher, I think. So I'll spread it around.
Okay, now I'm getting back to my picture.
Yeah, you ready to get into it again?
Yeah.
Good.
Look at my picture.
It looks great, buddy. I would show it, except for you got those puddles. Why don't you take those puddles and use it in other places that you need it?
Like where?
Well,
Like over here.
it just becomes less and less as you go down.
Can I like go over to the sink and pour the puddles off? Like
I think
first
probably
one?
if you just took the corner of your paper towel and stuck it in there, it would suck up the...
Okay.
Okay, so this is looking pretty good. You just got to make sure that you keep your lights as light as you want.
Now you can show my picture.
Good. All right, I'm bringing Z's over. Let's take a look at what she's got. That looks awesome, buddy. Looks really good. I love it.
Now what do we do?
Well, now I'm coming back in. I made a brighter sort of pink, and I'm bringing it in, you know, into my clouds. You can see, like, I don't want to have an edge here, so I'm just bringing in some water. Maybe I need a little wipe off my brush just a little bit. And I'm just gonna blend out that edge into the lighter pink.
You should get shorter cuts.
Okay.
Daddy,
Yeah, buddy.
are watercolors bad for your skin?
Nah, this stuff's all non-toxic.
Okay, good.
Yeah, oil paints, that's another story. Those can be a little bit toxic for you.
Like if you eat them?
Well, you definitely don't want to eat them.
If you eat watercolors, will they be okay?
Why, are you getting hungry?
No.
I don't think it would do anything more than maybe make you a little bit sick. We can do an experiment if you want to try some.
No.
Add in some real pale ones around here. I just feel like they're missing.
Dad, I gave myself a tattoo.
Neat. The only thing is it's not going to really stay, is it? It's going to wipe off on anything that you touch, so.
Well, I was going to wipe it off when we were done with it.
Good, good. Yeah, you know, you can see I never worry about it staining the table or anything like that at all. It's real easy to clean up. All right.
Oh, dang it. Made mine really red over here. So I need more water.
These are pretty nice pinks. Just wanted to blend a little bit on this side into that purple. Yeah, it's good. You know, you could maybe come in and make fewer edges, you know, try to soften edges a little bit. Like if I want to soften the edge here, I just go over that with a wet brush. And you can see it kind of scuffles that edge a little bit. So,
Is that a real word?
scuffle? Yeah. So I liked how that turned out. I'm going to do that in more spots. And then I'm going to continue with that pink. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my blues. You just have to be a little bit careful that you don't... It didn't crash, buddy. It just... like the... No, what happens is the screen goes off as an energy saver. Because they're like, oh, you're not doing anything on your computer, so let's just like shut off the screen to save energy.
Mine isn't
It doesn't.
blending well.
What's that?
Mine isn't blending well.
You got to make sure your brush is just damp. You don't need it to be so wet.
No, it is damp.
So all I'm doing is like little circles, making little circles with my brush.
Yeah, look, it's not blending.
Too much water on your brush. Wipe your brush off and try it. Now try it. I'm not dabbing at it. My brush never leaves it. I'm just making little circles. Yeah, that's right. There you go.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
Just a little.
That's all you want it to do is a little.
Oh.
You're just trying to make it so the edge is not like a real sharp edge.
I need a little.
I would wipe your brush off. It's going to be too much water. Oh, that's good. That's right.
are only like only halfway in.
Yeah, we're more than halfway in.
Barely. Now time is on slowly.
That's because you're thinking too much. What you have to do is you have to get into the process of just blending, of just, you know, all I'm doing is I'm coming in here and I just want to make that line a little bit blended, and you just concentrate on that. And, you know, there's a real satisfaction to when it does the thing that you're asking it to do, you know, when you get the effect that you're going for.
So we're gonna do
You don't have to wait for it. What's that?
We're gonna do a silhouette scene.
Yeah, we're almost there. I want to do deepen my blues and purples just a bit. Even the purples are looking pretty good, but some of my blue I feel like I could get a little darker at the top. And same thing with my pinks. We're not quite done with the pink. Let's do that next. Here we go.
I'll be down here, but can you tell me when we're ready to do the silhouettes?
Yeah, you're done with your sky?
Look at Alice.
She's very cute. All right, so Zora's abandoning me until we get to the silhouettes. She's had enough. And her painting looks pretty good, although she does have a big old puddle on there. So these lessons are going to move to Mondays at 3. And I am going to do one on Thursday at the usual time, 10 o'clock. But then I'm going to discontinue the Thursdays. Mostly it just seems like this thing has kind of run its course. Originally, the reason that I got into this was because I have been working at Casa de Mañana with a great group of friends now, and when all the quarantining started, you know, senior communities were the first ones that sort of had to be kept away from people who might be sick. So I haven't been there to see my friends in a long time, and my sister-in-law, Veronica, who hired me to work there, suggested that we move these lessons online. And so this has evolved into what we're doing now. And I'm still going to continue doing them on Mondays for them and for anybody else that wants to join. But yeah, I think the Thursdays I'm going to discontinue. I've got summer camps that are going to start next week. And so I'm not going to have the same amount of time. Okay, let's move on to those blues, and then we're going to get into our silhouette, which I think will be a lot of fun.
Do we have black?
Yeah, there's black. All right. Just gives it a little more oomph. And it boosts the contrast between our lights and our darks, which I like. Yeah, I think our purple can darken up too. At least in some spots. Up towards the top, definitely. All right, let's get it while it's wet. promise you really do want it to kind of blend into that top edge. I mean, both edges, but you want it to blend in on both sides. You want it to blend into the blue, but you want it to blend into that pink as well without losing the pink. All right. Just trying to make these blends happen. Get a little more water.
This looks like a maze.
It does?
Yeah. Exactly like on the sky.
You think it looks like a maze? That's interesting. All right, I'm almost there.
Is a labyrinth a maze?
A labyrinth is a maze, yeah.
Looks like a labyrinth.
Okay, so I think I don't mind walking away from that sky and getting into our horizon. So, you want to come back, Z? So, advice as we move into this part is start light. Start light. You can, make it so that you can see it, but with the idea that we will go over it again, because it's black is so hard to cover once it's there. All right, here we go. So I'm going to do just a basic sort of the horizon without any of the trees or anything. I can see on this side it sort of slants up and comes across. Let's use a bigger brush.
Okay. What are we doing?
And then this is just coming across like this.
Can we just do like a line across?
Well, it's a little bit different than a line, but you can do whatever you want. Oops, not purple. Although you could do it in purple, I suppose.
It's like covering the pink.
Well, you put your pink down a little bit low.
Oh.
That's okay. It's just the way you did it.
Supposed to be really solid black.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it darker. You can make it darker at later. You don't have to make it the darkest right now. Our trees, as we put them in, we're probably going to want to make them a little bit more darkish. Just because there's going to be so much detail that you're not going to want to go back and over it again.
Daddy,
So I'm going to use my detail brush. Yes.
I managed to get Alice out of my lap with her not moving.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm going to go a little darker. Oh, Yeah. Let's do our little palm tree first. So you can see the one on the far left looks like it has two trunks, like it's one tree in front of the other. And it's going to go up to about here. I'm going to leave space. I'll probably add in that other tree. So you can see it's got like this little ovalish shape at the very top. And then it's going to come down like this. And then you can see there's like a second tree, and it's going to come off like this. So there's a little space. And then here we go. I'm going to do little lines. On the sides, they come out like a frowny mouth. Frowny mouth. And then as they move up, they become less curved, more vertical. And then they come off this way.
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah.
I think after I do like...
Well, why are you using such a big brush?
Because I'm using a big brush. Oh.
I said to use the detail brush.
Oh.
That looks pretty cool, though. Okay, so then you can see the ends have like stuff on them like this.
Hey, Daddy, I think once we finish the 3 trees in the background, I'm gonna clean my room.
Okay, that's totally up to you.
Yeah, this is so cute.
In fact, this is going to be a little bit more like this, yeah.
Is there like a brush like smaller, like as small as a string?
Mm-hmm. A single
Like
hair
this?
brush. Yep, a single hair brush.
Like this brush?
Yeah, a single hair brush.
It's just one hair?
It's just one little hair.
That's so
All right,
cute.
so there's one. And you can, whatever, have them more. Okay, let's go to the next. Maybe like right here. I'm going to do the trunk first, so that gets a little bigger towards the bottom, so I press a little harder. You've got the little oval on the top. And then again, frowny mouths. And then as they come up, they get a little more straight.
Then more frowny mouths. For my next palm tree, I'm gonna make them smiley mouths. It's defying gravity.
That's weird.
Beauty turned off. Not turned off.
Went to sleep.
Went to sleep.
Okay, I need a little blacker. That's not looking quite as dark as I would like.
Mine would be closer. It has the trunk. Then the oval thing. Then the smiley faces.
Okay, so palm tree number 2.
It's windy, that's what it is.
Here comes the next one.
I think I'm done with mine.
Okay, let me show. So you can see she used the big brush for hers,
It's closer.
but it still has like a real nice energy to it, and I like it a lot. I think you nailed it, buddy.
Could I let it dry over here?
Yeah, just leave it right here. All right, I've got another palm tree that I'm gonna add in, and then there are a lot of little details, and then we'll see if there's time. I'll do that big palm tree. So this one It's a little bit lower. Goes pretty much straight down. Here's our, oh man, maybe a little bit too much black. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Actually trying to maybe work a little harder on this one so it looks a little more like what we have there. I sort of fudged the other ones just a little bit. It's pretty dense in through here. All right, so that's coming. Let's do, let's see, down here there's like a few little leaves of some kind, some little like cypress tree in the back, way in the back. And then got a little like tree with a little bit of light showing through. Then we've got this like big bushy tree thing. I don't know what my neighbors are doing, if they're listening to, if they're playing a video game or what, but man, they're so loud back there. At night, I can't even keep my windows open because it's just like all hours. And I can hear it right now, and it's just like, what the hell is that? It's got to be a video game, I'm guessing. It is summer. I get it. Summer quarantine. Although I guess everything is kind of opening up again. I don't know. We'll see how this goes, huh? All right, back here, there's like a tree that is split into three, like that. Well, I hope that it's not distracting for you guys. I hope you can't hear that out there, that it's, you know, far enough away and soft enough that it's, you guys can't hear my neighbors, but see, I see a couple of vertical things happening there, and then more of just like tree with light coming through. And then again, I see a couple of vertical lines there. And now I'm just coming across, there's like a weird little thing here, some vertical, like a tree, and another little tree. And then now we've got another one of those kind of bushy looking trees. Right in here. I'll kind of get the edge on there first. Get a little more water. Again, like a couple of little verticals. Now over here, I've got another like telephone pole thing. And then I see some kind of wispy, curvy limb things that come up. And then we've got just the very top of a palm tree here. I can see one frond that comes like that, and then like a lot on the top. we've got this big kind of, maybe there's like a hill and then it's got a tree on the top of it, maybe? Hard to tell. It seems like it kind of goes like that. There's like a hill there. And then we have a tree that's mostly pretty solid, but there's like a few little spots where sun is coming through. All right, and then we've got another really bushy palm tree that comes in right here. It's a little, like, got that kind of oval thing at the top, and then this one is just like straight up, and then a couple off to the right. That one's maybe a little low. It's all right. And then it's just like bushy. I have them coming down both sides. I'm doing these like little slanty lines and then little slanty lines coming out the other way. Okay, let's bring this over a little further. Good. And then it seems like we have a couple more of them off here to the side that are just kind of coming up like this from the horizon. So Z, I don't mind if you're going to start baking cookies. I think that's cool, but can you be real quiet? That is one of the perks of getting a daughter who's getting older and more responsible. She has learned how to bake cookies, and they're really good. And so I get to be the recipient of said cookies. Or not all of them. She makes them for everybody, but I get to have some of them. All right, so there's some palm fronds off the side. This is looking good over here. I'm gonna do that big tree. This doesn't look too tough.
Daddy.
Yes, Zora.
Did you move an envelope with like writing on it?
Nope. All right, so here we go. Coming up all the way. It's a little thicker. Getting thinner at the top. And then you can see it's almost like little curved triangles coming off the side. So I'm using kind of a medium brush here. And I'm just gonna go like this. And like this. Let's go on this side. And then as you come up, they start to kind of jut out like that. All right, same thing on this side. Just want to fill in so it's all the same black. Okay. All right, let's do our bottom. Get that nice and black. Shit. So I put my hand in it. That happens. You got to be real careful with that. Wet paint on your hands can just wreck the rest of your image. I am going to try to fix that real quick before it dries. Okay, so I'm just going to take a clean paper towel. I'm going to dip it in water, squeeze it out, because you don't need all that, and then I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to dab. And I'm going to dab. You don't want to wipe, you just want to dab. And you can see it kind of picks it up off of there. Then I can let that dry and I can repair it. Okay, so we're pretty much at the end. I can add in these little like leafy areas over here on the left.
It looks good.
And then we can call that done. Maybe I'll come in and fix this a little bit later. But that's pretty much it. We did it. How did yours turn out? I hope it turned out well. I know things are a little bit nuts in the world, but I hope you'll hang in there. I hope you'll spread a little bit of love and creativity, and maybe even share the picture that you made with the people you love. Let them see what you're doing. Let me turn things around. You want to say goodbye, Z? Come on over, dude.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for joining us. We love you guys. We'll be back Thursday, 10 a.m. And have a great week. Bye.